Seker. Kom ons gaan. Gooi het, man. Lekker. Banger. Ek told you all. You might have lost the contest, but goodness, he won that fight.
I think he won the fight, to be honest.
I think he won the fight as well.
What rounds did you give him?
I gave him 2, 3, and 5.
2, 3, and 5. That was... I was surprised. Watching the fight back, and I watched it again, he won that fight. And some people got it like 4-1.
I can't see 4-1. There's no way that's 4-1.
Yeah.
I think it was close. I don't think it was a robbery by any stretch of the imagination. But I do think Volkanovski just edged him. I think, was it like Volk? Clearly for me, you definitely won 5.
Yes.
And I think
he also definitely won third.
Won the third. It was 2 was really, really close.
2 was close. But I do think he edged 2 as well. And it was quite surprising seeing everyone, how they responded to it. Did you see Joe Rogan, the fight companion?
But afterwards, Joe did say, like, I might have been wrong.
Are we biased?
Are we biased?
Yeah.
But
I don't care. I'm biased. He won that fight. he did.
I'm pretending to be unbiased at this stage. You all know I'm biased.
But yeah, that was a great fight. And what a display in that 5th round. Just insane.
That was incredible.
That was awesome.
Incredible. Like, the 6th round, that was one of the fights that I was just wishing, I wish we could have seen a 6th.
Well, that's very interesting because I saw a video where George St. Pierre was chatting to Joe Rogan, and he said, just like they were talking about the rules of fighting, like the downward elbow being a problem, that's John Jones's only loss.
Yeah.
But George St. Pierre said, why have rounds? Why stop the momentum of the fight? Have one round and may the best man win. Do you think it would have been a lot different if it was one continuous round?
Maybe. I think Volk could have gassed Islam out.
Yes.
I think Volk could have gassed him.
Yeah.
If he was just like he said it himself afterwards. I could have turned the pressure on just a little bit more.
Yeah.
And just done a little bit more, and Islam wasn't as strong as I expected.
Yeah.
And but I mean, would have, should have.
It's crazy. It's like Volk's gas tank is, if you take David Goggins, the Diaz brothers, and Jocko Willink, and you put them into a fancy cocktail,
it is incredible.
You get a 5'4" Australian that was a hooker in his time,
dude. I was really amazed. I've never ever seen Islam like that, where it was like,
he looked worried.
Shit.
Yeah. There was an expression on his face he couldn't hide. And it was just like, and again, after the fight, he told his corner, I want the rematch.
Yeah.
Because he thought he lost the fight as well. So it's very interesting. And I think the biggest winner of the night is Dann because he has a lot, the matchmakers have a lot to do here. They have a lot of fun stuff that they can do. Yair was absolutely.
He looked incredible. I got that sneaking suspicion again beforehand, and I was like, I think Emmett's going to pull it, and he didn't.
Yeah.
Well done, Yair. But the podcast, I said it on the podcast.
Yeah. Fine. You also WhatsApped me. I don't think I even responded.
Yeah, no, you didn't.
We're going with Yair.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm guessing they do the title defense. They unify the belts at featherweight. They give Islam someone else in the meantime, and then if they both win their fights, they
fight again. Yeah. That would be cool. I mean, building them up to even bigger heights.
100%.
Like, I'm here for it.
Imagine they do it in Russia.
Ooh,
well, that's not possible.
No, not really, is it?
Yeah. Well, maybe by the end of the year. Who knows?
I doubt it. I really doubt it. I don't think there's a state, because I don't see Russia and Dagestan as really like the same place.
Yeah.
Like, you get I've talked about it, Moscow, Russia, and then Caucasian Mountain, Russia. It's two very different things.
Yeah, no, 100%. But they should do it in an awesome arena. They have to have it in a place interesting. Maybe go back to Australia. Maybe.
So the crowd was incredible.
Amazing.
That crowd was everything the Brazil crowd wasn't.
Yeah, 100%. That was the exact opposite. They were so sick. So that was a great fight. Yair also looked super impressive.
He did.
I think, and now obviously there's accusations being thrown around of
IV usage. Ooh.
So that is quite interesting as well.
I think if you're gonna say something like that, like a very serious accusation, call the other guy like a cheat and a well, whatever have you.
Yeah.
And then you just like, oh, you can't prove me, because Dan Hooker, he accused Islam and then he said, prove me wrong, someone. And it's like, no.
No, prove yourself.
Prove yourself right.
Yeah. 100%.
You know, it's a very bad look.
Yeah.
It's a very bad look.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know how serious they're gonna take that, but Ivy used that. It is a very weird type of topic.
I think I know where it came from. So Islam had this. He has a mark on his arm where an Ivy would go, but he had the same mark against Oliveira after their fight, and I think what his manager said it was for mandatory blood tests that he had to do.
Okay.
So yeah, that's their rebuttal. It's like, listen, it was just a blood test. You can go to the commission, you can go to the nurses, you can go to Dana White, you can go to anyone,
Yeah.
and they will tell you it was a blood test.
Yeah.
There's no IV usage. And I don't think he used an IV just by, he looked a little bit, like Islam looked small. He looked a bit drained.
Yeah. 100%.
Like he looked like someone who went through a rough weight cut and maybe didn't get all the way back.
I think so too. I think he had a rough cut, and I think his cuts are going to get even worse as time goes. But yeah, like you said, that I think that Hangman and their team or whoever is involved, they should come with the evidence.
Yeah.
You know, either a nurse's statement saying like, listen, I gave him an IV, or just say that this happened. Here's video footage. But for now, it's just a tweet.
The thing that gets me is that's a wild thing to say without having anything to back it up.
So maybe
he has something in his back pocket, but I mean, then you're gonna have to show us.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, it puts not the sport in a bad light, but Islam and his team, it puts them in a bad light. And if it's untrue, that's kind of a dick move by.
It doesn't look good for Teddy kickboxing either.
Yeah, 100%. I think the fight went so well. I think like Volk, I think his stock went up.
Oh, absolutely.
By miles.
Absolutely.
By miles. And he is so competitive at that weight. I think any other lightweight,
I think he smashes his way through the top 10.
100%. And then into that top 5, you have these guys that it depends on the night. It depends on the situation, injuries, stuff like performance.
Volk, the only thing is like, the only way I can maybe see him, like, there's no one in that division that can grapple him. No one.
Yeah.
If Islam couldn't do it, the rest can't do it.
Yeah.
Point.
100%. Well, that's an interesting fight because imagine you get Oliveira and Volk.
Oh, that could be cool.
That's a fun fight.
Yeah. But I think Volk will smash him.
So you're sold.
I've been sold since 2019.
I still think, and it's a very amateur mentality of thinking of it, but I still think Oliveira and Islam was a fluke fight. I think Oliveira wasn't there. He didn't pitch up, so if they run that one back, that would be also fun to watch. Beneil Dariush is in the mix as well. I think Dariush does very well against someone like Islam and Volk.
Okay, because of his scrambles.
100%. He scrambles just as good as Volk.
He does.
Yeah.
And the only thing is Volk is always going to be the smaller man. He's always going to have the shorter reach. I don't know. I feel like the only way you beat him is like a power striker that just swings at him and manages to land one. Because Makhachev managed to land a few on him.
Yes.
And Makhachev isn't a power puncher.
Yeah.
Like, yes, he dropped some people. But, I mean, you can't eat those type of shots from a Gaethje, from a Chandler, from a McGregor.
Exactly. Like those three guys against Volk is also, I don't like that fight for Volk. It's
I like him against anyone else easily.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So the whole card was actually amazing. The crowd was great. And it's very cool to see that it's opening back up to bigger type of events.
Super big.
Yeah, super events. It's very sick.
What do you think about the scoring system as it is?
They're going to have to work on
like the 10 must system, or how easy a 10-8 is to give, how difficult it is to give.
Yeah, they're going to definitely, I think the problem with the scoring system is there's a lot of type of gray areas where you have to use, as a judge, you have to use your type of intuition going into that round and really looking back, and before you put pen to paper, say, okay, it was this moment that happened in the fight. Now, what are those significant moments? Because if you just take, and what, like aggression. So aggression is very touch and go, because does aggression mean going forward, or does it mean going forward with strikes? Because those are two different things. Volk was putting Makhachev on his back foot a lot. So he's the aggressive fighter.
He's got the cage control, and you could argue he's striking effectively.
Exactly.
The problem I had with Islam is like, yes, he was like, I think if it was the same judges seeing the same things that we saw in the Jan O'Malley fight, Volk had this one.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the Volk O'Malley one, Jan had some control. He didn't do anything with it. But
that's also
O'Malley hit some shots. So I think if it was those same judges, Volk won this fight.
Yeah.
If these judges scored that fight, I think Jan would have won on decision. So it's a very difficult thing.
And also something like control time. It's very easy to stay on top of. Well, it's relatively. That's the first step, is just getting top control. Now you have that, but if you're not using it for something effectively, then it's almost, it just nullifies that position.
Yeah.
A great example is when Makhachev had Volk's back.
Yeah.
Volk was landing most of the punches. I know he's in a bad position,
But he's doing more damage.
but he's doing more damage. And that's also the thing. You can compare the two. Volk could have walked down the aisle to his wedding after that fight because he had no marks on his face. He was 100% fine.
He had one cut.
Makhachev isn't walking out to no wedding. He was battered, bruised. I think his wife
haven't seen him like
very
that.
mad like that.
I haven't seen him like that ever.
So where do you score that as well? Because significant strikes, Volk.
How significant does a strike need to be to counter?
Exactly.
You know what I would like to see, personally? Being the pundit expert.
That's also the thing. Do the judges get the access to the stats?
No, no, they don't.
They don't.
They don't.
Right?
No.
So maybe giving live stats as well. But even then, if there's someone watching the fight and he has two buttons, the one is a strike, the other one is a significant strike, and this one grazes his nose, do you go strike or something?
I mean, just landing a shot like they scored in some kickboxing, like click, 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 click,
Yes,
click, click.
yeah.
Don't like that.
Yeah, that's
That's so stupid.
yeah.
I think it should be easier to give it 10-8.
Okay.
So that's what I'm thinking. Like 10-9 is you can't really split them, but like one just edged it.
Yes.
And then 10-8 is like a dominant round.
So do you think Volk deserved a 10-8 in the fifth?
He might have.
Yeah.
I think he did. So under my scoring system, Volk would have gotten a 10-8 there. Makhachev would have maybe gotten a 10-8 in the first round. And then a 10-7 is like, go home.
Yeah.
Like go home, tap out. But make it easier to find a 10-8 because the definition of a 10-8 is also like up in the air.
Yeah, 100%.
Blachowicz Adesanya, one of those rounds, the judges scored that at 10-8.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, but I've seen a lot more rounds.
Yeah,
more dominant like than that was scored at 10-9.
And that's also the thing. If you take like a dominant round, let's say you have a dominant round where one guy is not as active. So he's on his back foot, not throwing a lot of strikes, not grappling effectively. 10-8 is then easy to get.
Yeah.
But now you have these guys that are maybe in this weight division, which is super active, very quick. So both of them look like they're super active. They're throwing shots, they're moving, stuff like that. But one of the fighters are still just completely dominant and 2 steps ahead. So they're going to have to try and figure out.
Like if you look at a round and you think, phew, that was a tough one, but I give it to him, 10-9. And if you can look at a round and you can say, he clearly won. That was like, that's Cameron's lockdown.
Yeah.
Maybe make that a 10-8.
Yes.
I don't know. I think it would. I don't know. It might extend the advantage that you get when it maybe encourage people to go out there and put on a bit more of a show.
I still remember a few years ago when takedowns were a massive thing. Like if you landed a takedown, it was like you won the round.
Yeah.
It was almost like it wasn't that easy, but it was if you had a close round striking wise,
and then
5 seconds left, poof, take him down. Then you basically stole that round. Now you see that it's not the case anymore because now they actually check to see, do you advance position, do you actually use the takedown or something. So we are definitely heading into the right direction, but at the end of the day you need to try and finish fights. Finish fights at 10-9. I don't know, it's like so wide. That's my thing, is like I feel like we need something in between. That's my big thing. Well, that was also the thing when I fought Sandile Monongela. I knew for a fact, like, brother, you are 2 rounds down. You're gonna have to operate because that was clearly he had top control. He had he didn't land many strikes, but I knew I also didn't land that many strikes.
Yeah.
So they're gonna go to control time. So going out in that third round, I knew I was 2 rounds behind. We have to start catching up. And you can also see that in Volk's fight in between rounds. He was speaking to his coach, and it was just like he wasn't sure about that second round. So he was just like, so his coach actually motivated him and told him, listen, you need to win the next 3.
Yeah.
And I think he gave a damn good effort in that. You know, 4th round, he lost.
Yeah, definitely.
First round,
Lost, definitely. Yeah,
But
I can give it
2, 3, and 5. I think he edged.
yeah, I think he got it. 5, definitely. 3.
But we can chat about it all we want. All that we know is Volkanovski is still the pound for pound king.
Oh, yes. As he should be.
100%.
As he should be.
I think, and that is not surprising to me. I think it's surprising to a lot of people, but I think he deserves that spot.
Yeah.
I'm 100% okay with him losing the fight, but keeping the pound for pound number 1, because I think that sets it up for later in the year.
Absolutely.
And they should do it on a sick card, like, I don't know, maybe a Singapore or a London even. That would be if they can go back to Australia, obviously.
If Islam smashed him,
yeah,
I would be like, okay, maybe pound for pound best. But the fact that it was so close, like Islam couldn't do that if it was 145 or Volk was like 3 inches taller or whatever. Like then you're like, oh, what if? But I think he did.
Well, that's the thing now. Do you possibly see Makhachev go to welter?
Yes, I thought for a second you were going to go like down.
Oh, no. He'll go to welter.
I think
he is struggling to make the weight with IVs or without them. You know, so he is struggling to make the weight. Because if he can beat the top guys at welterweight, then we can start talking about
pound for pound king. Yeah. No, but there's only like there's one guy pound for pound, like especially after this fight, that has shown the world he belongs at the top of that pile.
Yeah, 100%.
Even if John Jones comes back, he puts on a most dominant performance against Cyril Gahn. I still think he shouldn't take that spot.
He shouldn't take that spot, but I also don't put it beneath him to be pound for pound number 1 by the end of the year.
Yeah,
if he defends the title, or maybe goes down again to light, no, he won't go down. Just defend that title, then you can be like, just because of his past resume, you can give it to them pound title.
Because I mean, that's also another reason Islam shouldn't get that title. Is like his resume is good. Yeah, well, he has like 2 really good wins on there, but it's not Volk's.
100%.
It's not that 22 fight win streak.
Yeah, that is absolutely insane.
It's crazy.
So when they read his record, like 25-1, I was just like, what? You've done this not only 26 times, but I think that feeling of winning is something that, especially like my debut, that is something that feeling I'll never be able to have again. That amount of...
You can chase it.
It felt like I slept with a hanger in my mouth. I was smiling for 4 days straight. My cheeks were hurting. It was... Now, to do that 25 times, that's definitely something we were working towards.
And win a UFC title along the way
as well. That's just... Yeah, just props to...
Yeah, absolutely.
You deserve it. And just because of this fight, I'm more excited to watch him defend the title against Yair. Because Yair had a great performance.
Yeah, he had a great performance. Not a good enough.
That quickly. Really?
A little bit. Like, I don't think he's going to take it. I don't think he can take it.
No. But Yair looked good in that fight.
Well, he looked
and
incredible.
Ebert is strong. He's a strong wrestler. He's short like Volkanovski. He's explosive.
He is. But I feel like Yair showed a lot more holes in his game than Volkanovski did.
Okay.
I saw some things in there, like Yair got hit a few times by Emmett. Not obviously, like, it wasn't too serious, but there were times where you can see, like, okay, this might fly against Emmett, this might fly against the entire top 5. This is not going to fly against the pound for pound king. Yeah. You know, that's my opinion about that fight.
But all in all, that was great, and I think it sets up both divisions up nicely, because now they can start playing.
And now we have 2 boring ones, and then we have with the African kings on the corner.
Yes, then we are back in Vegas.
Back in Vegas.
Team
mate.
CIT is taking over Vegas again.
I saw Drickus at his double distance.
Yes, he had it this morning.
Did you have it yet?
No, I'm having it tomorrow. So this will be out by tonight. Okay, tomorrow is double distance. Thank you, young
Young Philly.
So yeah, we'll have double distance tomorrow. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah.
And then you guys are probably flying out within the next week, right?
Yes, next week Wednesday.
Next week Wednesday.
Jet setting once again to Vegas.
Eight though.
I'm very looking forward to it. This time I'm gonna do stuff like make sure I don't keep lights and the geyser on, because that's
Ooh, no.
last time. Yeah, that killed me because I was away for like 3 weeks, and I forgot some food in the fridge as well. And so this time I'm gonna be very well prepared and not because I think I was quite frantic the last time we traveled. I remember.
Yeah, I remember.
You were here when I was packing my bags, and it was terrible.
Yeah,
So
good.
I'll start packing by tomorrow.
I think that's a good idea. Like, and then I mean, you can improve on all the mistakes you made last time out, like leaving a geyser, fridge,
Yes.
lights.
Yeah, knee to the head is a big one. I think we'll try and avoid that one as well. Yeah, maybe kick him in the balls this time.
Yeah. Just to keep
keep
balanced.
it fresh and
Top and
interesting.
bottom, keep it balanced.
Yeah. So we like Jigger's looking so good, man. I think there's a team photo they posted.
I
and
saw.
It's just these units
Yeah.
training with. And
I saw them.
it's Mark Hume, who's one of the scariest welterweights on the planet, and he is the biggest welterweight.
I don't know. Yeah, I was just about to say, I don't know how he's a welterweight, but he's there.
Then you have JT Buerto, who's obviously a specimen. He's built like a tank. Yeah, you have Yaku, who's now fighting at UAE Warriors.
Yeah.
So he's fighting next.
Congrats to Yaku. Goodness, because I was last week. I asked him. I was like, Yaku, when are you fighting again? And he was like, 24th of April. I was like, okay, cool. See you for like top contender fight for UFC or whatever. And then I saw on Instagram UAE Warriors.
Well, he's gonna
That's massive.
he's gonna be probably fighting for a top contender spot or for the title in the UFC as well after this fight.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, very excited for him. And then who else do we have in that? Obviously JC Lambrecht.
Oh yes,
He's just a space.
that unit of a kickboxer.
Yes, yeah, Justin. Yeah, so he's an African African or world champion. I don't know, but he's a K1 champion.
Very good at kickboxing.
Very good at kickboxing and an absolute unit. He is a massive human being. So having those guys being wrestled into the ground and still surviving, which was way past double distance, was very impressive to see. So
I'm glad.
yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Very looking forward to it. Because Brunson, it's a fun fight.
Yeah.
I saw that on the prelims. Maybe.
Yeah, that's weird. That like the fight card, how it's set out now, doesn't make sense at all. Having Bo Nickel on the main card makes no sense, and then having them on the
Not even Bo Nickel. I think that Bo Nickel making a UFC debut on the main card.
Yeah,
Like I'm sure, okay, big name, but sure. But who else is here? Because I saw someone is on that card. I'm like, how can you put that above? Shavkat and Jeff Neal. Shavkat is a very exciting fight.
he is. They're looking to build him as well.
But there's only I'd only see 4 fights on here.
Yeah, they'll probably still fix that card.
Yeah, I really hope so. Because
They will. I'm pretty sure they will. But yeah, so now it's just about getting the weight down. I sold my PlayStation. I bought an air bike. So hopefully that helps a lot.
you sold it like 3 days too late because you never have time to play games ever. I call you Sunday night.
Yes.
Like, are you available to play games? You're like, I am available,
I am.
but I have a slight issue.
Yeah, it was quite weird because that was literally the only gap this whole week. The only gap this week where I was like, I'm gonna just take it easy for an hour and a half. And then you called me, so I solved.
I was sitting, yes, time to play some Modern Warfare.
Yeah. So because I checked on the stats, there were hours played, maybe like 20.
Yeah, that's not a lot.
I think 5 of those hours were you.
It's possible.
And then the other 15 was Hanu.
Yeah,
So-
probably.
it was pointless to keep it. But
That's a good mentality to have as an athlete.
as an
That's a really great
Yeah.
mentality.
So now I'm going to make it part of the daily routine, at least do 15 minutes a day, which isn't a lot. On an air bike, that's not a lot. At a very moderate pace,
I was just about to say, it depends on how hard you're
no,
doing
we'll try and do it quite well. And then take a cold shower, get into bed. So that will be the new,
That's cool.
the
That's a cool routine.
pre-bed ritual.
I feel so bad about my routine every time we're on fight cam. I mean, I'm like, I go to sleep at 12.
Yes, sometimes I get messages from you, then I am already sleeping for like 4 hours.
Yeah, basically. I'll reply tomorrow, don't worry. Or later this morning.
Yeah. So it's gonna, but the team looks amazing,
Mm.
and we have 5 CIT members fighting at Versus this weekend as well.
Good for them, boys.
Versus promotions, we have Versus Fight Night 4, which is gonna be sick.
Can't wait for it.
We have like 14 or 15 fights on the card. It's gonna be.
I mean,
great.
the undisputed king of amateur fighting in this country.
Yes,
Like, there's nothing that even comes close. Like,
they are.
slight disrespect to the other promotions. But like, you guys can't compete.
It's just. I thought you were speaking about a fighter.
No, no.
Okay.
The promotion, the promotions.
Yeah.
But the guys look good.
We are definitely looking to set a standard of what South African MMA should look like for amateurs. So it's going to be very exciting, and we have bangers on the card. We have Tapelu fighting Fulani, which is
Good.
a crazy fight because it's 5-0 versus 6-0. So they are fighting for the bantamweight title.
I used to joke with me and Tapelo saying like we're the two laziest guys there.
Yeah.
I'm the undisputed lazy king right now. Goodness, like Tapelo looks good.
Every time I see him, he's either in the gym or walking towards the boxing gym or walking towards jits. So it's very cool to see. And I think the winner of, because that fight is it's a great fight because Fulani he's a champion in, no, it's not Fulani, sorry.
His opponent is already, I think his opponent is looking for double promotion champ status.
Yes. So he won the GFC title as well, and I think he has defended it before.
Oh wow. Is he a kickboxer?
David Makani, sorry.
Kickboxer.
So I would say he's more a stand-up fighter. He has a lot of stand-up finishes, and he's fighting out of Dominator's Den as well. So
They're quite grappling heavy though, aren't they? Dominators.
yeah, they're quite. So he's getting a healthy mix of
Should be pretty well
pretty all
balanced.
around. But yeah, Makani is gonna. I think both of them are good enough to go pro after this fight. So, and then on the card we also have that Ntando Zondi and Fulani. That's the guy I was thinking of.
That's a fun one.
He's the SA champ, and Zondi is at UMF. He had a like crazy his two finishes were first round knockouts. So, and then we have a fun fight that the Muffin Man.
Hey, swinging and banging.
And yes, Johan van Schaik. So just, we have so many cool, obviously Tyron is fighting as well.
Yeah.
After Versus posted that video of him saying like, listen, these guys are not on our level.
Yeah.
And I went through the comments and it was quite interesting to see the heat.
But you're not.
But it was really cool to see the competitive spirit come
It's
out
cool.
in the comments.
It's cool. Like, call it shit talking, call it competitive spirit. I love it.
It's great. It's very cool.
Like, as you know, I like drama.
So it's gonna be a great fight night. I'm really looking forward to it, and hopefully you can join us.
Yeah. No, I should. I
Yeah.
should.
Not too busy gaming.
Yeah. No, listen, man's got priorities. Yeah. Come on.
Yeah. What game are you playing now?
I'm playing a lot of Modern Warfare. That's why I called you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm very shit though. Like I've never won a game.
Have you played Last of Us?
I have not.
Okay.
I really should. It's a fun show.
I think have you watched the show?
I did.
It's
I
very
did.
sick.
Well, a start of it. I
Okay.
haven't watched through it yet.
Yeah, it's very
Yes.
cool. But yeah, the game is.
How would you do in a zombie apocalypse?
How would I do?
How do you think you would do?
Oh, very well.
Very well.
But I think everyone overestimates how well they'll do.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
I think everyone thinks that they'll do great.
The thing is, I feel like if you're in shape, in relative shape, like you already have quite the advantage.
And also, if you turn into a zombie, then you're at least a zombie with abs.
Exactly. Then you have an advantage as well.
That's all the time we have. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to go like us. Go just follow us on YouTube. Go check us out wherever you listen to your podcast. Cheers.